I'm going to enjoy some food today. Why, hello folks. I am back at you today on March 17th, 2019, and I am going to do my first 36-hour fast. So I'm not actually planning to stuff my face before the fast. I don't think that is helpful because it kind of negates the whole part of, it doesn't negate the whole thing, but you know, you're stuffing yourself full of food, and part of the whole fasting purpose is to give your digestive system a break and let your body go into autophagy, where it breaks down different proteins and parts of cellular debris and bits of metabolism that is just left in your cell so that you can cleanse and heal and repair. So if I stuff myself full of food, then I'm just gonna make that process a little bit longer to get into. So I may eat a little bit more than usual because I'm a little nervous about fasting for 36 hours, but I'm not going to eat my face off. Since there's not going to be really any food other than this in this video, I will show you how I am going to make a delicious avocado dressing. I have so far put in olive oil, just this olive oil from Casco, and then I put in a large clove of garlic that I just shredded up in the microplane, and then I'll show you the rest of what I'm going to put in. Lunch before the fast. We've got a grass-fed burger that looks a little dark, but it was barbecued the other day. It's left over and it's delicious. Got my pills on the side, some betaine HCl, the digestive enzyme, and I want to say a tyrosine and an L-carnitine or an N-acetylcarnitine, and then the salad with the salad dressing I just showed you, a few mac nuts, and yeah, that's it, that's all. So I go to have a little snack after my lunch, my last little snack before dinner, and no one was really around. I pulled out some banana bread that I've made, some paleo banana bread, which I will share the recipe eventually. But I set off the goddamn fire alarms in the first time in our new place, and it was so damn loud. And yes, now everyone in the household knows that I am having a snack of banana bread. How rude. Check it.
Many hours later.
So I have officially started my fast. I am planning to do a 36-hour fast unless something dramatic happens that I need to stop it, which I don't think it will, because I am a fairly healthy individual and I got enough to sustain me for 36 hours. I can drink water and herbal tea, so I'll be good. So I won't be eating next until Tuesday at around 7:30 a.m. and I am so looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous, but you know what? This is going to create some mental toughness and some character in me at the same time. And I'll go into reasons why I'm doing this fast, but that is one of the reasons. So anyways, I will catch you tomorrow.
The next day.
Good morning. It is Monday morning and I have been fasting now for 13 hours. I woke up at 6 and I had some water with my mineral drops as I usually do. So I'll just put a picture up in the corner here. I had that. And then I had my Woman's Moon tea, which is a herbal tea, and I'll post a picture of that right here as well. And then right now I'm having some coffee. I bought this fasting book. I think it's by Jimmy Moore and someone else, so I forget his name. Jason Fung, I think. He is an endocrinologist as far as I know, or no, he is a nephrologist. He's like some kidney specialist. But anyways, I bought this book and I was looking at what liquids I can have when I am fasting. I'll just show you. So this is the book. To be honest, I haven't done much for research as to how to fast properly, but I just went and looked at what is considered a fasting liquid, and they talk about either having water, different teas. You can have caffeinated or uncaffeinated as far as their guide goes, and they say you can have fat in it. I think it all depends on what type of fast you're doing. If you're doing a water fast or a liquid fast, or like just a fat fast that you're just having like healthy fats on it. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna go for more of like a liquid, like not having any caloric intake during the day. So I'm gonna have some coffee, and I have a client at 9:30 and I had one at 8. So far, today has been a great day. I finished with my last client, 9:30 to 10:30. Then I went for a nice walk with a girlfriend on the dike, and it is just so beautiful here in Port Coquitlam. It is a suburb outside of Vancouver. It is very nice. Earlier I was thinking about food. Now I'm kind of just like salivating for food, but not feeling hungry. So I'm going to make myself a tea. Living a little bit rurally is that I gotta take my garbage bin and my green waste bin down a big ass driveway, which we gotta take it out before 7 a.m. So it's gotta be out there pretty early, which kind of sucks, but I guess that's the price you gotta pay for living in a beautiful area like this. So I said I would talk with you about why I am doing this fast, and the basic reason is health. So there have been many documented studies on how fasting can improve health, and the two things that I am most focused on is one, autophagy, so cellular eating or cellular cleansing. So essentially, when the cell does not have nutrients coming into it via food that you eat, then it has an opportunity to cleanse itself, go through and break down metabolic waste products or byproducts or just broken apparati in the cell and cleanse itself. And if it cleanses itself, then it has an opportunity to perform better, work more efficiently with less debris around. Think about like a dirty room. If your room's really dirty, then you gotta walk around the shit, you gotta look at it, which is frustrating, and it just makes life tougher. But if you got a really clean room, it's like so refreshing and you can just work so much better. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but it kind of makes sense. So that's number one, is autophagy, cellular cleansing. So one form of cleansing. Then the other form of cleansing is via fat burning. So obviously when you're not eating, your body has no nutrition to take in to then create energy. So it needs to use your body fat as energy, and it goes into ketosis. So when you burn fat, you actually liberate toxins because your body stores toxins in your fat to protect yourself from the toxins. So when you lose fat, you're actually liberating toxins. And so long as you're taking in some sort of a binder to eliminate the toxins, and you're sweating and you're peeing and hydrating, then you get rid of those toxins. So obviously after I'm done this fast, I'll make sure I have a really great meal, and I always eat a lot of fiber, so that'll be great. I'm hydrating like crazy today. I'm kind of going into another topic there, but the main thing with the fast is the autophagy and then fat burning, which then triggers liberation of toxins, so that overall I can lessen my body's toxic load, which then will allow my whole system to ideally work better and reduce my risk of different diseases and illnesses like cancer and diabetes and inflammation and arthritis and all that stuff. So those are the main reasons. And then the second one being quite obvious, well, I don't know if it's obvious, but fat burning. I would love to burn a little bit of fat and lose a little bit of fat, or a lot of bit of fat, but that won't happen in a 36-hour time period. Lose a bit of fat and lean out. So it's just a simple way that has a bunch of health benefits associated with it. And I say simple, but it's not really that simple, because it's quite mental challenge, which is another benefit that I guess is like a side benefit of doing a fast, that it creates like mental toughness or like grit in yourself, because pretty much I'm just persevering through. Like, it's tough. I don't really want to continue, but I'm just like, it's 36 hours. I am not 0% body fat, so my body definitely has enough fuel within it to survive 36 hours. I am a relatively healthy human, so I'll be okay for the 36 hours, but it is really mentally tough because I'm just totally used to eating at the regular times, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and maybe some snacks in between when I'm hungry. So I really got to override that, and I find it's like already teaching me that I'm stronger than I think I am, and I don't always need to eat when I think I need to eat. You know, I could go maybe a little bit longer and then be able to have a client in between, or maybe hang out with a friend a little bit longer, or whatever the case may be. So I guess the benefits, I'll just recap in case you're writing it down. I don't know, but health benefits being that mainly is the detoxing benefit of it. And the detox comes from two areas of the body. One is cellular cleansing, and then the other one is fat burning, which then liberates toxins. And then the special byproducts are fat burning, so maybe getting a little bit leaner, and creating mental toughness. So I don't know, 4 things that I'm after that are all encompassed into health and well-being and performing better. To be very honest with you, I am very hungry right now. It is 6:30 and I have a boot camp at 7, so I'm going to teach that, and that'll take my mind off of things. But I have considered quitting quite a few times, but I'm holding strong right now, and I plan on doing it until about 7 in the morning tomorrow. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, but it's just hunger. Otherwise, I'm feeling pretty good.
One eternity later.
Did I complete the 36-hour fast?
Yes.
I went from 7:15 p.m. on a Sunday until about 7:15 a.m. on the Monday morning. I even worked out in the morning, although I didn't film it because 1, I had no time to dilly-dally because I had a client at 8 a.m. and 2, I just wanted to get the food in me. So I thought I would quickly talk with you about my experience and things that kind of stood out to me. First and foremost, believe it or not, I found it more of a mental challenge than a physical, like, hunger challenge. I thought that I was gonna feel awful stomach hunger pains, and I really didn't. Like, I definitely had hunger pains, don't get me wrong, I definitely had them, but I found it far more challenging mentally just not to eat. Like, there were so many times where I wanted to eat because it was around mealtime. Like I found that the most challenging around mealtime. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then I usually have a snack in the evening. And I found that the most challenging just because I'm so used to eating. But then like I checked in with myself and I'm like, am I hungry? And I was like vaguely hungry, but as soon as I had a bunch of teas that day. I had a bunch of waters with my mineral drops in it, and that was super helpful. Like that was like really satiating, kind of like almost like the salty water taste. It was great, but once I had that, I wasn't really that hungry until the evening. I was quite hungry before bed, but it was more of just the mental challenge of being like, oh, like you're not gonna eat. And I just kept reminding myself that I'm not gonna die. It's only 36 hours. I have plenty of enough fuel in my body to fuel myself through that 36 hours. So it was more of a mental toughness game and more of a mental grit game. Oh, the sun is coming out. So yeah, more mental toughness required for it than physically enduring pain. Now with that said too, hunger pains were transient, meaning that they came and then they went. They were there and then they were gone. Like I was so hungry before bed, I thought I was gonna wake up and just be dying of hunger. And I wasn't. Like I worked out in the morning and it was totally doable. Had my tea, had a water, worked out, and then went to have my breakfast in the morning, my smoothie. And I wasn't even ravenously like making it and like rushing and thinking I had to like scarf it down. Not at all. Where I'm that way sometimes, like between breakfast and lunch. So it was wild, just the mental portion of it, in like mentally preparing myself that I wasn't gonna eat for 36 hours. And that actually changed my physiological response. Like I didn't feel this like hanger and pressure that I needed to eat. And if I wasn't going to eat, I was gonna be angry and uncomfortable. And it just wasn't nearly as bad as some days when I just go a few hours longer than I wanted before a meal. So that definitely has changed my thinking pattern. That said, today I judged the time wrong. My watch, I can't change the time back on. We just had daylight savings time. And so my watch said it was 1 hour earlier than it actually was. And so I'm looking at my watch and I'm like, why on earth am I so hungry? Usually I wouldn't have lunch for like an hour later. And I was about 20 minutes from home. And so I'm like, oh, you know, I'll go and do this errand and that errand. And then I get in my car. I'm like, fuck, it's an hour later. And then I was like so hungry and like, I gotta get home. I'm freaking out. And so anyways, like it didn't really transfer into my everyday life, but it definitely has made me think about it. So when I'm driving home, I'm like, okay, Danny, you just survived a 36-hour fast. This is only an hour and a bit since you would typically eat. So just add it back, calm it down. But I honestly was having like the physiological response of like extreme hunger and kind of low blood sugar, feeling a little shaky and feeling like I really needed to eat. So I think the mental prep for the 36-hour fast and telling myself it was going to be fucking challenging, it was, and I was just prepared for it. So I'll go over the other kind of negative portion of it, which was a lack of concentration in the afternoon of the day of my fast. And so I found it really hard to concentrate on tasks that required thinking. And so I ended up actually making my boyfriend dinner, even though I couldn't eat it. It was just like something for me that was mindless. So I ended up doing that because I jumped from task to task to see if I could focus on it better. And I just couldn't. So I just resorted to doing something that was kind of mindless, and that helped the time pass. Now, some benefits of it that I was quite surprised, or like things I was just surprised on, is that one, I wasn't fatigued. There was no like obvious feelings of feeling tired or just like lethargic. I actually felt pretty energized and like my normal energy on like a good energy day. So that was amazing. I had mental clarity. So even though I couldn't concentrate, I could speak really well and think really well. So that was kind of cool. I didn't have any headaches. So I have had chronic headaches for quite some time. They come and go. So I've had bouts where I haven't had headaches for several months, but lately I've been having them quite frequently, and I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. But anyways, I didn't have any headaches on the fast, which may tell me that it is a certain food that I may be sensitive to and it's triggering that response. So that was cool. And then of course I felt lighter and my tummy looked a little bit tighter in the morning, which was really nice, but that only lasted during the fast and right after it. After I started eating, going about my regular daily activities, I went back to feeling like my normal self. So that was only temporary, but it was a nice feeling. Alrighty folks, I am going to close out the video here. I hope you got something from this. If you are planning to do your first 24 or 36 hour fast, I hope this kind of prepped you for it. It really wasn't that bad, although looking back, I'm kind of like, oh geez, how am I gonna do that again? It really wasn't that bad. I was very surprised at how I was able to get through it. So you can do it if you're medically safe to do it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, pop it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like it. Subscribe to my channel because I post new videos regularly, and I will see you in my next video.